So I guess I'll just start by saying this isn't something I thought I'd ever post about. I've seen a lot of crazy stories here, and now it's my turn. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for, maybe just some validation that I'm not losing my mind. To give a bit of context, my wife Sarah and I have been together for about 7 years, married for 3. We're pretty solid, or at least I thought we were. We have our disagreements like any couple, but we've always worked through things. That was until this past weekend. A couple of weeks ago, she started talking about a party her friend Lauren was throwing. It was supposed to be some kind of reunion for her college friends. I didn't think much of it at first, but then she started dropping hints that the party was going to get wild. She told me there'd be drinking, probably some dancing, maybe even a few old flings of hers showing up. This didn't sit well with me. I'm not some control freak, I swear. I trust Sarah, but the way she was talking about this party made me feel off. I've met Lauren before, and let's just say she's known for throwing parties that spiral out of control. I told Sarah I wasn't comfortable with her going, especially if there'd be people from her past there, people she used to hook up with. We had a long conversation about it, and at the end, she said she understood. I thought we were on the same page. Apparently, we weren't. The night of the party rolls around. I'm chilling at home, thinking we're going to have a quiet evening in. Then, out of nowhere, Sarah starts getting ready. I'm talking full makeup, a dress I hadn't seen her wear in ages, and those heels that make her legs look. Well, you get the picture. I asked her what was going on, and she just casually said, "Oh, I'm still going to Lauren's party." I was floored. I reminded her of our conversation, how I wasn't okay with it, and she just shrugged it off. She said something about needing a break and wanting to have some fun that really hurt. It felt like she was choosing a wild party over me and over our relationship. We argued for a bit, but it was clear she wasn't going to change her mind. So she left. I sat there in silence for a while, just staring at the door after she walked out. The thing is, I could have called her. I could have asked her to come back, but something inside me just snapped. I decided in that moment that if she was going to do this, I wasn't going to stop her. But I wasn't going to be there when she came back either. I turned off my phone, locked the door, and went to bed. I didn't sleep much. My mind was racing with all kinds of thoughts. What was she doing? Who was she with? Was she even thinking about me, or was she too caught up in the party? I hated the feeling of helplessness, so I decided I wasn't going to let her know how much this was bothering me. I ghosted her. The next day, I didn't turn my phone back on until late in the afternoon. I had a ton of missed calls and messages from Sarah. Some were angry, some were apologetic, but the general theme was that she didn't understand why I wasn't responding. She'd stayed at Lauren's place and wanted to know when she could come home. But here's the thing, I wasn't ready to talk to her. I felt betrayed, not because she went to a party, but because she completely disregarded my feelings. I decided to just take a break from everything. I went out, drove around for a bit, got some lunch, and tried to clear my head. I needed time to figure out what I was going to do next. By the time I got back home, it was almost evening, and Sarah was standing on our porch. She looked different. Not in a physical way, but there was something in her eyes. She looked worried, maybe even scared. I parked the car and walked up to her. She started talking before I even had a chance to unlock the door. "I'm sorry," she blurted out. "I didn't think you'd react like this." I didn't say anything at first. I just stood there trying to figure out what to say. I was angry, but seeing her like that, I also felt a pang of guilt. Maybe I'd taken things too far by ghosting her. We went inside, and she started explaining everything. The party hadn't been as crazy as she'd expected, and she realized pretty quickly that she didn't want to be there. But by then, it was too late to undo what had happened between us. She admitted that she'd been selfish and that she hadn't really considered how her actions would affect me. I listened to her, but I still wasn't sure how I felt. The trust had been damaged, and it wasn't something that could be fixed with a simple apology. We talked for a long time, longer than we had in a while. She asked me why I ghosted her, and I told her the truth: I needed space. I didn't want to keep arguing, and I didn't want to say something I'd regret. At the end of the conversation, we didn't exactly come to a resolution. She stayed the night, but things were awkward. It was like there was this invisible wall between us now. That was a few days ago, and honestly, I'm still not sure where we stand. She's been trying harder, I'll give her that. She's been more attentive, more communicative, but part of me wonders if it's too late. I don't know, I love her, but that night changed something for me. I guess I just needed to get this off my chest. Have any of you been through something similar? How do you rebuild trust after something like this? Thanks for sticking with me through this story. Life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges at us, and sometimes we just need a moment to reflect. If you've ever been through something similar, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.